Good morning, YouTube. It is, I don't fucking know. Um, I believe today's the 12th. I should know that. I just got the phone with my son. It's 5:37 in the morning. I'm in somewhere in New Mexico, and it is fucking cold outside. It is a nice 27 degrees. It was 25 when I first woke up. Woke up at 4:30, freezing. But because of my heater incident yesterday, I just decided it was better to stay underneath all my blankets. Um, so I have the heater on now. Hopefully that's not making too much noise. I turned it down, but it's fucking cold. Um, I've already checked the weather report. There is ice on the roads, just a little. Um, so I'm gonna wait a little bit before I take off, just because I'd rather be safe than stupid. And all the super truckers out there can kiss my ass. So I'm bundled up in all my stuff. University of Weed. It's my favorite shit ever, honestly. Okay, so I have my navigation over there set up. Hopefully she's not iced over. And this is what I do in the morning. So day 3 again is going to be kind of boring. Whenever you take these really long trips, the only action that's really going on is when you pick up and when you drop off. And unless you get some action in between on the travel, like that crazy wreck I saw yesterday, um, you really just drive. You wake up, shit, shower, shave, and eat and drive. Take a break, and you drive, and then you stop, and you do it all over again the next day. So, um, I'm trying to show y'all as much of what preparation goes into continuing a load like this. So, obviously, let's check out what's going on. It is 27 degrees outside. I've already gotten the ice warning a couple of times. As soon as I turned the truck on, it was like, ew, ice conditions. I was like, fucking wonderful. Um, yeah, in the desert there should definitely not be any ice, but it is what it is. So my clock is already ready to go. That's set. It reset around 15 minutes ago. 799 miles. We're definitely not going to do that today. So check out I can go ahead and put myself off duty now. I'm technically not in my sleeper. Try to keep that as accurate as possible. You always want to certify your logs from the day before. I usually do that at the end of the day, and then in the morning I just certify that I was in my sleeper. It says that I have a day from, well, I guess I didn't do it yesterday. That's fine. So my clocks are all reloaded. We got 40 hours on our clock. We're good. I'm more than likely going to get another load in before I reset, which is what I'm shooting for. So today I will drive probably not the whole 11. I'll probably drive 10 hours. Um, just depends on what's going on. So that's some of you have a lot of flexibility out here. But I have so much time. It's something that, I'm not in a hurry to get these. What am I carrying? I'm carrying some kind of booties that go into Just Fab, whatever the hell that is. Um, so 799 miles. Definitely not going to do that in one day. But I definitely want to stay between 500 and 600 miles. So, and we don't like to get to the parking, the truck stops really, really late. So what do? We do this. Now, I have taken this route before, so I have a good idea. I haven't done this prior to filming because I'm doing this as I go along, so it's in real time, and if I fuck up, you'll see that I am human, and I do make tons of mistakes, shitloads of them. Maybe that's why I consider myself to be a smart person. So, um, this is where I am now. This is ultimately where I need to be to get to my next my next fuel stop. That is 799 miles. So we have New Mexico, we have Arkansas, we have Oklahoma, well, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. All right. So I already know pretty much I'm going to be stopping somewhere in Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure I believe it's somewhere in Oklahoma City. Is about the halfway point. So we're going to zoom in. These are all the different truck stops, rest stop, parking areas. I don't think I have do it. I've tried taking the fucking. I think these are the WalMarts. Maybe not. Yeah, I think you can have it put a whole bunch of different shit on here, but the scales one I took off. There's so many different things you can have it put on here. I don't need all that shit. I just need to know what I need to know. So here is Oklahoma. So I'm going to look for Shawnee. We can start in Shawnee. That's fine. So in Shawnee, that's 548 miles. Biscuit Hill Travel Center. It's got a decent amount of stars. You know, I like to read the stuff, whatever. But what I'm really looking for is the miles. So straight distant miles, and I have come to find that these are usually, this one here is usually better distance for cars. The actual distance is usually more referenced for truck drivers. So about 548 miles. So somewhere in here is where I will be wanting to look for a place to stop. So I know that there's tons and tons of options, and even if I want to keep going further, you know, I still have options. The route that I'm taking today, there's no shortage of places to stop. That's for damn sure. So most of my hours of driving with, you know, hundreds of miles with no stops, and the rest stops that they do have been closed. I don't have to worry about any of that. And I'm usually on the phone almost the entire drive. It makes the time go by really fast, or I'm listening to like stand-up comedians. You find stuff to do and listen to. Music gets fucking old really fast. Like, if I hear another In the Club, I'm gonna go insane. Like, you try listening to different things, it just gets really old. So I listen to audiobooks, I listen to TED Talks. I'm a big TED Talk nerd. If you don't know what that is, you can YouTube it. It's just a bunch of people talking about, you know, research and scientific facts, and I'm a real big nerd. I don't look like it, but I'm a huge fucking nerd. I always am in school for something. Um, so out here I have a lot of time to, you know, do studies and research, and that's the kind of shit that I listen to on the road. You need something to pass the time. So today's going to be pretty boring. It's a nice scenic route, but I'm really coming out of all of the mountains today, the big mountains today, which is good. Phone signal is not very good up in the mountains, at least not for iPhone. So that's what we do. We just look at our miles, get on here. You have a good idea of where you're going to stop, because, I mean, you can drive and not have any idea where you're going to stop, and that gets really old really fast. And I'm a person who likes definite things. Like, I like to have a goal, and then I reach that goal, and then I'm like, okay, what's the next goal? What's the next step? So planning is super important, to me at least. Some of y'all may like to drive and just say, hey, whatever happens, happens. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I do that. If something happens that's out of my control, and I'm just like, fuck it, let's hang out here. But for the most part, we plan it out. So we're going to be shooting for the Shawnee, Oklahoma City area. We'll see what happens. and I will check back with y'all later. Again, it is now 5:47, and I'm going to check out the local weather reports and check out the radar. It's still only 27 degrees outside, but I'm going to go take care of my morning stuff, get some food in my belly, load up my cup holders, and get ready to take off. So I'll check in with y'all later on. Alright, YouTube, it is 6:30 on the dot. I have just completed pre-trip. The clock is what it is. 7 hours and 50 minutes to go. Still 27 degrees, but I have checked the radar. There hasn't been any precipitation, so there shouldn't be any ice, and this stuff on the top of my hood is probably just a little crystallization from whatever might have been in the air last night. But pre-trip looks good. Everything is good. It's fucking cold outside, but it is what it is. So we are locked and loaded. I don't have to have so many snacks down here because I do have to take a break today, which is great. And I'll check in with y'all during break, see how far we got, see what our clocks are looking like, and hopefully we have a good, safe trip. I'll check back with y'all later. Bye. YouTube, it is break time. We are in Amarillo, Texas, and let's see what the clock says. So, 547 miles left to get to our next fuel stop. We already know we're not going to make that. But my clock, the sun is a little way. 3 hours. This is when I normally take my break because I normally drive between 10 and 11 hours. Because I'm not in a big hurry, I'll probably just do the 10. So I usually take, what the flex am I doing? So I had to stop on the side of the road and talk to my son. Today's his 15th birthday, so that's why it says I've only been driving an hour and 54 minutes, but that is not the case. So we've put 257 miles in, and we're going to change this to off, 30-minute break. So let's go look. Dun, dun, dun. So it shows when I was on duty, driving, the off duty where what the hell was I doing there? 6 to 8. Oh, that's when I woke up. But it switches to on duty whenever you've been stopped for more than 5 minutes from driving. And it put me off duty earlier because there was a really big bus on fire, like on fire. It was pretty bad. Got hung up on that for a little bit. So right now it says my 8-hour clock has 3 hours. I have been driving 5 hours, so it'll restart and it'll give me back these almost 4 hours. So after my 30 minutes is up, my DOT clock will then say 6 hours and 48 minutes, of which 5.5 or 6 hours of that I will continue driving. So that's the update for now, and I will check back in after I get to my stop tonight. Alright, YouTube. Man, I have been to a few truck stops where there was absolutely no parking, but it's been a minute. You can usually find parking somewhere, especially since it's only 7 o'clock. Not in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So sometimes this happens. Good thing all the weird things that can happen are happening while I'm taping this. I'm recording. I'm old. Taping. Documenting this journey. So we pulled up the map earlier, showed there was tons of, what did I say? There's no shortage of truck stops. The Qualcomm navigation, you can't see ahead on the Qualcomm navigation, so you have no idea which route it's going to take you on until you're already kind of turning. It took me on the turnpike in Oklahoma, which takes you from 40 east to 44 east. And had I known, there's one stop that has like a McDonald's and like a gas station, and there's truck parking on both sides. That was full, but I was like, okay,
Well, at least on 44 East, I knew that there was a pilot because I've been this way before, but I wasn't coming so far. And the way that I would have taken, if I would have like used my atlas and stuff, I would have stayed on 40 and gone more towards Tennessee and come up, but that's not what the Qualcomm had in mind. So I knew about this pilot, and I was like, well, it is the only actual truck stop for about 150 miles. And there's no rest stops anywhere. The turnpike is like any other turnpike. There's no stopping or anything, except for that one place. And like I said, it was packed. And so I was like, okay, well, I know there's a pilot off of 44. There's really nothing else. So I am going to show y'all kind of how I'm parked. First, let's get the clock out of the way because I haven't stopped it because I was going to do that with you all. All right. So I drove because I'm in a good mood. I'm hyper, as you can tell. I did take one pee-pee break. It took 5 minutes, so not a big deal. I pulled off in that McDonald's area, and I was like, can I park here? But I still had 2.5 hours on my clock, and I was like, nah, because the way I work is, even though I can't drop this until the 24th, that's like, the 24th, what the fuck? The 14th. Well, today's the 12th. I'm going to drive tomorrow, and I could probably drop it early on the 14th. I have an open window, midnight to 11:30. So I want to fit another load in. So that's how I drive. So this is just a warning saying I've got less than an hour. So I drove until I had basically 45 minutes. So I need to go off duty. Or actually, you would go on duty post-trip, but you can also do it like that. So, hello? There we go. No, stop. All right, so I'm off duty. That's fine. I need to stop my clock. All right, so in 6 hours and 15 minutes, what? I haven't eaten actual food today since breakfast. I snacked on my protein bars and stuff, but I need like sustenance. In 10 hours and 15 minutes, I drove 621 miles today. And I could have kept going the 46 minutes, but I wouldn't have found any other parking. So let me show y'all what's going down at the parking place. So, also, this is what I do at the end of the night. First, we make this go away because I get that a lot. Well, it's not going to let me right now because I'm off duty. Whatever. So I have 183 miles. Remember, this said 799 this morning. So there's that. Because there's already some tool out there saying, oh my God, you drove 500 and however many miles in 7 hours. How is that possible? You're a dumbass and you don't listen to the whole video. So I can't fraud these numbers. The numbers are what they are. This is how I drive. I'm not doing this for documentation. This is legit how I drive. I wouldn't have this much energy if I hadn't been doing this for so many months. So this said 799 this morning. Now we have 183 miles. So basically it's going to take me 3 hours to get to my fuel stop tomorrow. What I like to do is I like to look ahead and see how far it's going to take me to get to my final destination. That lets me know how to break up my hours tomorrow. So, we still have 656 miles. Now, can I do that in one sitting? Yes. Because if I would have kept driving, if I wouldn't have come in here, I've been in here for like 15 minutes looking for parking. I came in here and I had an hour and 6 minutes left. So, had I drove that hour and 6 minutes and just stayed on the highway, I would have got another 65 miles. So yeah, I can do this, but I can't deliver it until fucking midnight anyways. So I'm going to drive it out as far as I fucking can. Maybe I will make it, then I'll reset and drop it in the morning. Or what I have done in the past, since it is just a drop, is, I get there, I drop it, I run out of time, and then I personal conveyance my way to wherever my safe place is going to be. So this lets me know if I feel like gambling tomorrow, we can go the whole way. But I can already tell you I'm not going to make it the whole way because... Hello? There we go. Because of this stop right here. Putting fuel and all that jazz. It kind of takes a minute, and while I can do the whole 656, I would literally be running out of time when I got there. I wouldn't have time to take the 5-minute pee break that I did today. It's just, can you do it? Yes, but you're going to wind up having to park on the side of the road. So what I'm more than likely going to do is take it about 500 or 600 miles and then just drive that hour the next morning after my 10-hour reset, and then pick up my next load and go. So I am not going to, more than likely, probably not going to reset in right after this load. I have enough time to do one more load. So that's what we're going to do. And so this is what my clocks look like. Sorry. So if I didn't even, no, here we go. 29. So this said 30 this morning. So there we go. 10 hours and now 20 minutes. So tomorrow I will drive 10 hours. That'll leave me 19 hours. And I'll already be right next, knocking on my drop's door. So I have 19 hours to play with. So I'm not going to reset in Kentucky. Now, did I have to drive the way I did today? No. And I thought about it. I was like, you can stop, but I'm hyper. I'm in a good mood. The ketones, I drank them at the right time. And sometimes I forget. And then if it gets too late, you can't drink them because they make you super fucking hyper like I am right now. But that is it. Like, this is how I drive. And when you drive consistently like this is how you win the approval, and people are like, hey, you're doing it, let's go. If you need something done, give it to this person. When you come straight out of the academy, or you're watching any of us on YouTube and you're like, how do I get miles like that? You're not going to right out the bat. You really got to prove yourself. My first load was 1,600 miles, but like I said, I was driving that way already with my second mentor. He had me drive until that thing said 0000, stop the truck on the side of the highway, and we would swap. So I was trained this way, and even when I got out here, I still was still kind of pissy about not having restroom breaks and stuff with the first go round. So I was like, yeah, now I'm my own boss, I could do my own thing. And I would still get my miles and still make them, but I used to make a lot more stops. I didn't force myself, and now I don't feel like I'm forcing myself. It's just what I'm used to doing. Normally, somebody after driving 10 hours and only taking a 30-minute break and a 5-minute pee break is not this fucking hyper and ready to go, but I am. I'm ready to get in that hot water and make me some food. I think I might have another burger tonight with some bacon and cheese, or I might do shrimp with zucchini pasta. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm not really hungry, so I need food. My brain is telling me I need food. But let me show y'all. Sometimes this is how it be. So that is the entrance / exit. And then you go in, there's where you put the fuel, and you go back that way, and there's tons and tons and tons, rows and rows of parking. Not one spot. I am, so next to that truck right there, to the right, going, where's my finger at? Going that way, sorry, is the store. And there's a whole bunch of us parked right here, next to the street. We're in the parking lot. This is just not where you're supposed to park, but sometimes that's how it be. Back there in the back, where the woods and stuff are, there's some people that aren't going to be able to get out in the morning. Could I have parked up on the edge of somebody? You know how somebody, at the end of the lane, sometimes there's enough room for you to squeeze in and be that one person next to the actual parking line. But the way they have it set up, if I was to do that, the people that are parked on that row, when they go to leave in the morning, they wouldn't be able to get out. So I don't give people any more reasons to hate Swift than they already do. So I just came over here, backed my little self in here, and in the morning they'll come and they'll wake me up to go, but I'll already be awake and probably gone before anybody important gets here. So that is the tea with that. Sometimes you just gotta do what you got to do. And I believe we have a terminal here in Oklahoma. I just didn't really... when you're on a turnpike, all of your normal shit goes out the window because there's nothing for God knows how long. And I didn't really remember how long the turnpike was or anything like that. So I just knew that on 44 East in Tulsa, there was this pilot. So I was like, I wasn't going to stop and try to reserve a parking. But from what the guy said, they've been reserved since fucking this morning. So people who drive this area all the time probably know that this is the only stop for about 150 miles. So they were prepared. I was not, because I don't come to Oklahoma. I've been here. I was here more with my second mentor than anything. I think I've driven through Oklahoma twice in the few months that I've been doing this. So it's not a place that I visit often. What is that? Okay. So that's the deal. This is how I drive. So now I just get out, I go check my tires, I check my brakes, make sure my fluids are good, make sure nothing's leaking. This is usually when I clean my mirrors and my windows, but I'll do that in the morning because I really need to cook and eat and just kind of get the fuck out of this truck for a little bit. So that's the deal with that. So I hope this is helping y'all. If y'all have any questions, I'm trying to get to them as fast as I can, but I like sleep. I require a lot of sleep, so and but I'm doing what I can when I can. So final total today, 10 hours, 621 miles. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Peace out, y'all. Y'all have a good night.